Hey everyone, Phoebe Nubisi here, and in this video we are going to create our first plugin, that is Dataverse MCP Server plugin inside Microsoft 365 Copilot. Are you excited? Yes, me, I am really excited about that. Before starting, let's do some little presentation about what we are going to build. What are you building? You are building a Cowork plugin that you will access. You will give access to a Dataverse MCP endpoint. The plugin provides the leaf connector inside Cowork and is aware of all the schema of the Dataverse tables, the columns, the statuses, the choice columns, and all of those things. Yes, so you need the Dataverse MCP server activated inside your environment. We are going to double check that. And then you need an intra application registrations. We are going to double check that as well. And also we need to store the old client configuration and produce a registration ID for our Dataverse MCP server inside Teams Developer Portal. And then we need to create the package for our Cowork plugin, and then we need to have some skills files. Also, we need to do that. Yes, because it will help to Cowork to resolve the different skills, the different table logical names, the relationships, and all those type of things, and also the preferred prompt that you have. That being said, now what is the architecture flow here? So the user is in Copilot Cowork, and then we have a Cowork plugin. Just for you to see a little bit how it works, let's go to Chrome actually, and then let's go to Microsoft 365 Copilot. When you click the plus, you click on manage plugin. We have some plugins here. Yes, so when we will install it, the plugin will appear and you'll be able to turn it off or on. That's what it is about. So let's come back, and then the OAuthPluginVault, we are going to do it also. The manifest JSON for our plugin, we are going to have the Dataverse MCP endpoint, yes, based on our environment ID, the Dataverse security, the skills files, and so on and so on. Yes, on prerequisite, you need to have Microsoft 365 Copilot with your tenant and have the right license for that. If you need a video for that, I already did in the previous videos. You need to activate in your environment the Dataverse MCP server. You need to have the Microsoft Entra permission for your app registration. You need to access the developer portal for the old client registration, and have a test user with the right Dataverse table permissions to be able to test. Yes, so now this is just a set of value tracker for all the things that we are going to build, and there are values that you need to track. Yes, and then this is the final build checklist. We will come back to it later to double check that we have everything available and ready for us. Now for the governance checklist, make sure that you have a pilot group only to deploy first, and then with the least privilege as well, with only first, and then you can expand. Do not put any secret on your package. And for the audit confirm, there is Dataverse auditing so that you can keep track of everything that's going on, and also avoid to have sensitive information available on it, and also make sure that for risky operations you ask for approval for Cowork, and keep a version control of your plugin. Yes, why do I say that? For example, right now we have a new list of tools that Dataverse MCP server has, like search, those type of things. Before it was list table, describe table, so it keep evolving. So when you modify, you keep track of the version control as well. If possible, also have a documentation as well. And then let's start our work. What we will do, let's go to our environment in Dataverse and make sure that on the features we have Dataverse MCP server enabled. So let's go to Chrome, let's go to Power Apps and then Settings, Admin Center. So once we are on the Admin Center, we make sure that we go to the environment and that we give access, we turn the Dataverse MCP server on. Go to Manage and then you select your environment, that is dev, and then you go to, it's loading, settings, and then product features. Scroll down until you see MCP. So we have this. Yes. So we have allow MCP client to interact with Dataverse MCP server. Now, if you click on advanced settings, you have to make sure that it's also registered here. And if it's not enabled, you have to enable it. So here you have the Dataverse MCP server that are registered for Cowork, and it's yes, and this is the application's ID and stuff like that, and for others client MCP as well. So once we have that, the next thing, let's come back to our presentation. The next thing is to go to Azure Entra and to make sure that we have our Entra application with the right permissions. So let's go back to Chrome. Let's go to the portal Azure. App registration. I think I already have an application for Cowork. Let me search it. Okay, let's create an app registration. So what you do, make sure that you copy the client ID and the tenant ID because you will need it later. And then you add a redirect URI, a web one, and you put it here. And you click configure. Permissions. And then you search for Dynamic CRM, add permission. You scroll to Dynamic CRM and you search MCP tools. Add permission. Go to certificate and secret and create the client secret. I will hide this part, but you can do it on your. Alright, so once that is done, let's go back to our presentation. We already created the application, and then the next step will be to put that client ID inside the advanced settings in the environment Power Platform Admin Center. I've done that already. Now copy your organization ID URL for your environment and add it here on this link. Once you do that, go to Teams Developer Portal. Let's do that. Let's open it. Once you open it, the next step will be to go to Tools, and then create new client registration, and you put the name. All this for you to see what to put, but I will hide with my right info. So you put the base URL. I will not show you what I put because I have to put my own, and then you will click any Teams app here for testing. You don't have a Teams app yet, and you put the client ID of that app registration, client secret, authorization endpoint, token endpoint, and then you will use basic authentication, and you will give the scope. The scope, let me show you what the scope will contain. So this is how the authorization endpoint looks like, the token endpoint as well. The scope, this is how it looks like. So I will pause the recording and create my own with my values and come back. And you will have this structure of the folder, and then you will be able to have your skills with all your skills files, and same for the manifest JSON as well. So let's go back to the presentation. This is how everything looks like. You have your skills files, and then you have the manifest JSON file, and you put your reference ID inside that manifest JSON file. This is how the manifest JSON file looks like. All of this. So you have it personalized with your value, and you put here the registration ID that you created in the Teams portal. Yes. So once that is done, the next step will be to zip that file. And once you zip it, you go to Microsoft Admin Center and to select that plugin in Manage App in Copilot Agents. So yes. All right, let's go to Microsoft Admin Center tools, and let's go to Add Agent. I hope this is the right place, and then I will add it. Okay, so it's working now. So let's make it available to me. And install for now, let's install for all users, or I can install for a specific user. I will put Hannah, and I will put myself, and then next. The Agent 365 users can apply selected custom policy and protections to agent from this template. Let's leave it like that for now. Next, publish. So we are publishing the agent, and let's go back to our presentation while it works. So we uploaded, and then we gave it some pilot users. That's what we did. Now the next step will be to connect the plugin in Copilot Cowork. So it's already there. It says you uploaded it. So let's go back to Copilot Cowork. Let's open a new session. Let's refresh the page. And click plus. Manage plugins is right here. Let's click connect. So it's connecting to my account, and then I can browse more plugins. My plugins is here. I can click to have more details. So now let's say list the columns of my table. Let me find the name of one table that I can use now. Looking for one table. Okay, let's go to Dataverse itself. Let's take one table, advanced tools, copy logical name. Let's come back here. She's calling the tool describe, and it's giving all the informations. Here are the columns of that table. Yeah. So guys, it's working. List me the last 5 entries of that table. The most 5 records. So it's a read query. So it's working, guys. It worked like a charm. It's working. It's working. Now I would say for part, what is the estimated time and what are the sessions tracking? So this is a search that it will do. To the nested table we have part estimate and session tracking. So it's searching, it's calling the right tools for us. So it's calling those tables. It found the table. It's so smart. Guys, just like that, we created our first plugin and it's working like a charm. It is working like a charm. Always make sure to double check the new tools available, because like right now the MCP in Dataverse has a new set of tools, available. So always make sure that you have the last one available. Yeah, I wish I could have the documentation for that ready right now. Let me see. Yes, I have it. So let me open it here. So this is what we have right now for the Dataverse MCP server. These are the new tools available. Before it was different, it was having different tools. So always make sure that you are up to date, and once you are up to date, you update your skills files inside your plugin folder, and then you modify the manifest.json with a new version number and you re-upload it, and that's how it works. Thank you for watching this video and see you in the next video. Ciao.